what is the process for you in terms of the stuff that you either respond to Taxi with, or the stuff that you already have ready and send into Taxi in response to submissions? What's the process for you for creating one of these songs, one of these pieces of music that might get used by somebody else? Is there like a typical life cycle that it goes through, something like that, or are they all over the map?
Normally what I'll do is, the listings will come out on the 1st and the 15th of each month. And I'll go through the listings, let's say back January of last year, kind of how I got the whole process started. I just went through all the listings and said, all right, of these listings, what kind of songs do I write that they're looking for? And I found a lot of sports instrumental type listings. They were looking for guitar driving songs, high energy, high octane, extreme sports type stuff. And I thought, well, that's, if I were to just sit down and write a song with nothing in mind, just pick up a guitar, that's the first type of song that's going to come out. My natural tendency is metal, hard rock. That's what I grew up listening to. After got into out of high school, got into college, really got into that stuff. So the first 3 months I was submitting to those types of listings, and then trying to do some other ones. There were a couple that they were for major film listings, a la type songs. We're like, we're looking to replace this song. I'll give you an example. Back in, I guess it was March of last year, it was a listing for the song All Cause of You by the group The 88s. And one of my co-writers and I thought, hey, this would be a fun challenge. Let's see if we can write something like that. So we ended up writing a song for the listing and submitted it, and it got returned. And the critique, I actually brought it over here.
Oh, cool.
So
this is like a real
This is an actual critique for that song.
Great.
This was from April of last year. Barry, I just wanted to reiterate here that I think this is strong songwriting. And in general, I think this is a very pitchable lyrical theme for film, TV scenes, whether it be this listing or others. And with the sweet tone to your voice, you can pass for modern or retro pop, which is positive too. However, before this could be considered a master quality track, in my opinion, you'd have to raise the quality of your instrument performances to that of your voice. A really solid effort, though. Now, the vocals was not me. I didn't do the vocals. But I did the instrumentation. And when I got that, I was crushed. Because that was like my first real return. I mean, my first submission was returned. My next 9 were all forwards.
Right, so you were getting pretty confident at this point.
I was pretty confident. I was thinking, man, I've got this made, 9 out of my first 10 songs, all forward. Man, I can do this. This is easy.
Right.
And then the next 2-3 months, just return after return after return, and stuff like that. And the consistent, feedback I got was, your songwriting is good, your music is good, your production's not.
So I noticed you didn't use the word rejection at all in describing these returns. I gather that you don't consider, when you get feedback from Taxi in the screening process, and they tell you, this is what we like about what we're hearing in this particular scenario, and this is what needs more work. It sounds like rejection isn't in your vocabulary. Is that right?
Not now.
I mean, is that...
Well, every now and then maybe a little bit. It depends on the song. When I first got that, totally. I was very rejected. And, I even posted on the forums. I'm like, why did this get returned? I thought we nailed this listing, And when I listen back to it now, I'm like, why in the world did I think that was right for that listing?
Okay, so you initially felt rejected, and you were very dejected because of it. What did you do to respond to the comment then about your instrumentation and your production?
Well, after I got over my little pity party, I'm a very competitive person. So I use this return as motivation. I said, you know what, if it's not good enough, well, then I'm going to make it good enough.
Right.
I'm going to, whatever it takes, because at that point I had realized, okay, I want to do this. I don't want to be a band, do the band thing anymore, but I would love to be able to have a career working with music and writing music, whether it's film and TV or pitching to artists. So, when I consistently got the feedback of your music is good, but your production, you're just not there yet, I said, all right, I'm going to take a break from writing. I am going to focus on the production aspect, because honestly, I've been playing guitar and drums for going on about 20 years, and the majority of that time was just writing songs for my band. I knew nothing about the production aspect. I had no idea what a limiter was or what it did, or compression settings and EQ. I didn't care about anything. It didn't matter.
Right.
And I remember when I did my first song to submit to Taxi, I had a friend who's got his own studio, and I had finished writing the song, and I had upgraded my system to Pro Tools. I'm like, okay, I've got to get on to Pro Tools or whatever. And I remember once I was done with the song, I'm like, okay, now what? What's next? Is there? So I called my friend. I'm like, hey Scott, man, okay, I finished writing the song. What do I do now? He's like, so this whole world of mixing. I was like, I knew nothing about it. I had no idea, no clue. So I thought, take a break from writing and let's focus on the production end, because as I've learned over the last year and a half, I'm competing against big time studios.
Yep.
I'm competing against other major artists on major labels. Of course, the industry has changed slightly over the last several years, but they still have money that they're spending on those albums. And if I'm trying to get my songs placed in a film or on a TV show, and they're, like say Grey's Anatomy, who like, those singer-songwriters like the Fray,
Yep.
That's my competition. It's not, the other Taxi members. I mean, obviously they're competition too, but reality is I'm competing against the entire world,
Right.
Anybody who
And
is
every level of quality
every
that it has
level.
to offer. Right.
So from April, May, and June of last year, I basically said no more writing. I'm just going to focus on production. So I got some books, I got some DVDs. I came to your studio, and I just immersed myself in figuring out how can I do this, because I'm not going to be able to afford to go to another studio and have them produce them for me.
Right.
I'm going to have to learn this on my own.
Well, especially if you're doing 107 submissions a year.
Yes, exactly.
You're going to run out of money pretty fast.
Exactly.
Right?
So I ended up doing that, and just some DVDs and some books, and just immerse myself. And I still have a long ways to go. I know I've got a lot to learn, but I've made I think tremendous progress, and really improved my skill set and started to get it. I started to understand it better.
So basically, you did exactly what the critiquer, the screener, asked you to do, which was to raise the level of quality in your instrumentation and your production.